All right, welcome everybody to beautiful RIW Hobbies and Games in Livonia, Michigan. I'm Zach, joined by my teammate.
Roger Solomon.
And today we're making magic happen. We're playing some Paper Pioneer. We have a wonderful matchup for you guys. This is my favorite deck in the format. I don't know why, something about it just drawn me to it.
Nobody knows why.
Nobody knows why, but if you follow me on social media, you've seen me getting very excited about this deck. We're living the Sram Life today. Hashtag Sram Life. So I'm playing Sram. This is a deck I have put entirely too much time into. It was not good versus Inverter or Lotus Breach. All those decks, it was impossible to beat. They're all banned now. So I get to play fair Magic, and I can actually win games in that environment. It's still kind of loose, but we'll see what happens. So for those who don't know, it's built all around this card, Sram Senior Edificer. Sram is a 2-mana 2/2. It says whenever you cast an aura, equipment, or vehicle spell, draw a card. So if I had vehicles, I would draw off them. I don't have vehicles, but if I did, I would draw off them. But what we're really abusing is the aura and equipment thing. I have 12 other 1-drops in Stonecoil Serpent, Hateful Eidolon, and Alseid of Life's Bounty. They each serve a different role. Hateful Eidolon is my value 1-drop, I guess you'd say. It says whenever an enchanted creature dies, draw a card for each aura you controlled that was attached to it. So, if it is essentially protection for my stuff. If you kill my things, I'm going to get to draw until I find more stuff to replace it with. You see in Modern, there's a Boggles deck. This is kind of the same idea as that. It's a Boggles deck where I'm trying to load up one creature with a bunch of enchantments and just kill you with this one creature and just not let you deal with it. That said, I don't have hexproof creatures like I do in Modern. They just don't exist in this format. You can play some green 2-drops, but I think this is a better version of the deck. This is what we have. And then I have Stonecoil Serpent, which is an X spell, so I could cast it for more than one if I wanted to, but it's a 1-drop in this deck. It's a 1-mana 1/1 that has a lot of keywords, which is why we're playing it. It has Reach, Trample, and Protection from Multicolored, which, as it turns out in this format, there's a lot of multicolored removal being played, a lot of multicolored spells. You'll see one in this deck.
One or two in this deck, yeah.
So it's good there. It's just, it has a lot of keywords, so when you give it when you buff its power and toughness, it becomes really strong. You just have Trample, Reach. You give it more keywords like Vigilance, and then all of a sudden it's like, how does an opponent ever attack through this?
Right.
And then I have Alseid of Life's Bounty, which is a 1-mana 1/1 with lifelink. Hateful Eidolon also has lifelink, so those are 2 cards where if I load them up with auras and enchantments, it's just impossible for another creature deck to race me, essentially. But Alseid also has, I can sacrifice it, and then target creature or enchantment I control gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. So it serves as kind of the hexproof one-time effect in this deck, where if I load up a Stonecoil Serpent and have an Alseid and Raja tries to kill it with like a Fatal Push, I can give it protection from black and save my guy.
Right.
Now, I don't have anything in this deck that costs more than 2 mana in the main deck. So I'm playing Lurrus as a companion. Lurrus, before the companion rule errata, this deck was busted with Lurrus because you could just put Lurrus in play. You always had a creature to put enchantments on, and then you could always just start replaying stuff from your graveyard. It's less good now that I don't get to always do that. That said, it's still good in the deck. I can kind of get ahead and then just like put it in my hand on 4 mana and leave up like an Alseid protection. And then it helps me grind with the decks that grind. I don't really want to be using Lurrus. It's just there as protection because it's essentially free.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I have to protect all my creatures is Karametra's Blessing, which gives a creature +2/+2, but then if it's enchanted, it gets hexproof and indestructible until end of turn, or if it's an enchantment creature. So Alseid or Hateful Eidolon, I can just give hexproof and indestructible any time, which is good to protect from wraths. And then in terms of cards, the rest of the deck, I have Ethereal Armor, which gives the creature's enchanting +1/+1 for each enchantment I control, and it gives it First Strike. So in this deck, it makes the creatures really big because everything's an enchantment. So it's just like give a creature +1/+1 for each other permanent you control almost.
Yeah.
And then I have All That Glitters, which is the same thing except it doesn't give First Strike, but it counts artifacts instead of just enchantments. So like Stonecoil Serpent and Helm of the Gods is going to pump it up, and it's worse than Ethereal Armor, so I'm only playing, because it costs 2 instead of 1, so I'm only playing 3 copies of it, but still just more of the same effect, which is how I make the giant creature. And then Helm of the Gods is again the same thing. It's an equipment that costs 1 mana and then 1 to equip, and it says it gets each creature, or the equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each enchantment I control. So kind of the same thing as these two, but this one's better against wraths, because if you kill my guy, I still have something to pump up the next guy I play.
Yep.
And then I have Cartouche of Solidarity, This is an aura, basically, so it gives a creature +1/+1 in first strike, but it comes with a body, so when it enters the battlefield it gives me another 1/1. That's valuable to protect from edicts. There's not a lot of edicts in this format, but if there was, it would protect from them. But really, it draws a card off Sram and gives me another body, so if you kill the thing this is enchanting, I can just start loading up the body that it made.
Right.
And the body it makes actually has Vigilance, which is relevant. Sometimes you want to just load up a big Vigilant creature. Then I have Sentinel's Eyes. It's 1 mana aura, gives a creature +1/+1 in Vigilance, but it has Escape, so if you it's kind of the same thing where it's a resilient enchantment, I guess you'd say. It's Helm of the Gods, where if you kill the thing that has this on it, it's in my graveyard, and then I can start like recasting it to trigger off Sram. It just is kind of like the engine of the deck, which is kind of weird to say, but it is. And then I have Griff's Boon, which is 1 mana, gives a creature +1/+0 in flying. It's the deck's reach. It's how I get over a bunch of board stalls if I don't have Stonecoil Serpent. And also I can bring it back from the graveyard for 4 mana. It doesn't work as well with Sram as Sentinel's Eyes because it's an activated ability, but I can do it at instant speed, so if I want to pump, I can let you declare blockers if that's relevant and then bring it back to get that last point of damage in. So
Sure.
Comes up, but mostly it's just, I'm trying to play resilient enchantments because if you don't interact with my creature, you're just going to lose. And if you do interact with my creature, I need to have a plan for that. So you can see a lot of the choices have been made for what happens when someone interacts with my creature, because the games where you don't, I just run away and win.
Sure, that makes sense.
And that's what I'm doing. What do you got for us, Raja?
Yeah, so I'm playing the 5-color Bring to Niv, Bring to Light, the Mizzet deck.
Sure.
This deck was pretty popular not too long ago, and then like all the combo decks got really good, and this deck struggles against all those combo decks. But they're all banned now, so this deck looks like it might be better in a format where things are fair. This card deck grinds and draws cards really well and deals with threats pretty well. So get into the details here.
Start with that one.
All right, sure. So Niv Mizzet, the card that the deck's named after, is a 5-mana 6/6 flyer that when it enters the battlefield, you look at the top 10 cards of your library, and then you get to put as many of those unique 2-color combinations into your hand. So you can't grab 2 Boros cards, but you can grab 1 Dimir card and 1 Boros card, and you do that for every single 2-color combination.
Yep. So it looks at 10 cards. You could presumably draw 10 cards off of it. You'd have to get really lucky, but you could.
I think it might be impossible in this deck, but yeah, that is a possibility.
But yeah, I mean, you'll settle for just drawing 5.
Yeah, honestly, just drawing 2 or 3 is usually enough. It's a 5-mana 6/6 flyer. You don't really need too much more for that.
Sure.
But obviously the reason why this card is so good is because it costs 1 of each color, or else no card would be printed with that kind of text box.
Yep.
And so you have to work for it a little bit, but it's not that hard. And then you play Bring to Light because it also rewards you for basically the same thing, and then you can go find Niv Mizzet, so you basically have up to 8 copies of the card. And then to be able to cast these spells, you have Sylvan Caryatid, probably the best card in the deck, most important card in the deck. It's an early blocker. It lets you cast these spells ahead of time and fix your mana, which is really nice. Oath of Nissa is really good too because it lets you find certain lands or certain threats like Niv Mizzet. And it also works well with Yorion, which we're playing. We're playing an 80-card deck here, just because it's pretty relatively free to play, in my opinion. And then be able to just have more value come off your Yorion is pretty nice. The deck has a lot of removal. Fatal Push is the best removal spell, but because we want to be playing 2-color cards to reward our Niv Mizzet triggers, we're playing a mix of Dreadbore, Abrupt Decay, and then this little spicy one for me today is going to be Justice Strike. It's a card that, probably not as powerful as Dreadbore and Abrupt Decay, but it does nice things where you can actually kill an Owinoda during your opponent's turn, which might be becoming more relevant in this format. Same thing with Questing Beast, and just lets you use your mana more efficiently. You can kill Niv Mizzet in the mirror, which these Dreadbore can, but it does it during your turn, which is not as good. Then we have Thought Erasure, which is just, Thoughtseize is obviously better, but Thought Erasure is a 2-color card, and it works better with Uro, fueling our graveyard, potentially dumping an Uro. Oath of Kaya is a removal spell that gives us some life, works well with Teferi, just like Oath of Nissa does, and works well with Yorion, just like Oath of Nissa does. And then the spiciest card in the deck I'm playing today is a card that's near and dear to my heart. Really like this card. My favorite card from the most recent core set, Rada, Heart of Keld. It is similar to a Courser Prefix, which is my favorite Magic card of all time.
Sure.
But it's a 2-color card, so it fills that Gruul requirement for Niv Mizzet. Probably a little easier to cast in this deck than a pure double green one. And then, so what the card does is it's a 3/3 that has first strike during your turn, and it lets you look at the top of your library as much as you want and play lands for a turn from the top of your library. then it has this active ability for 6 mana where it gets +X+X, where X is the number of lands you control, which is a nice way to end the game. And then basically you're really just into it for the land ability, which lets you just kind of hit your land drops, which is important in this deck. Not really get situations where you're flooding too much, and because you have so many ways to manipulate the top card of your library, you'll have more than one look for Rada. You have fetch lands, you have Oath and Nissa, you have Thought Erasure, you have Uro redraws, you have Nahiri redraws. You have ways to make it work. Teferi is just a great magic card. This card just got recently banned in multiple formats. It's good in everything. Really good in this deck. Lets you bring Slight during your opponent's turn, lets you cast these sweepers during your opponent's turn, and bounces these things for value.
It's particularly good against my deck too because I'm relying on a spell to protect my creatures, and if there's a Teferi in play, I'm just defenseless basically.
Basically, yep. Uro, no need for explanation here. This card's just amazing. If you can play it in your deck, you play it. And this deck lets you go from 3 to 5, which is really relevant because your 5 is more things really get happening. Other end is just a flexible removal spell that gets any non-land permanent, which is nice. It's also a 2-colored card. And then, as I mentioned, Yorion is in the deck. You have cool things to blink with Yorion, like Planeswalkers, enchantments, and then if you blink and miss it, you're just kind of doing it. So
yeah,
that's really what the deck does.
Why Extinction Event over Supreme Verdict? I've seen a lot of Supreme Verdicts in this deck.
Yeah, I think Extinction Event's actually become the most consistent sweeper in this deck that I've seen in deck lists, and it makes sense because of one particular matchup, which is the Mono Black matchup,
Sure.
where they're just playing a bunch of 1-mana 2/1s, so they all have the same CMC, but they're also resilient. They all have ways to return from the graveyard back to your hand or to the battlefield, and so being able to exile them permanently is nice. And you can also, because you get to choose the CMC, the odd or even, you can manipulate it to where like certain board states you'll have the even and they'll have the odd, and you get to expose that, and vice versa. If you have the 5 and they have the evens, it's pretty good. And just exiling is a very relevant aspect of the card. Even opposing Uros. If I have my Uro going, you can just deal with their Uro.
Yeah,
so
makes sense.
it sucks that it's not multicolored, but it does what it does so well that's worth it. You don't need your Nemesis to be able to hit every single card in the deck.
Sure. All right, let's shuffle up in battle. All right, Raja, die roll me. I'll call even. Because I called odd every single time and lost.
Do you want to roll it? I feel like you've been running bad when I roll it.
Just roll it. I'm calling even.
You calling even?
I called odd. I'm calling even.
Think about this, Zach. You need to get this right.
Even.
You're naming even.
Even.
So I'm odd.
Yeah.
All right. I win.
0 for X on die rolls tonight. And it's super important with this deck, in this matchup especially. That's great.
Yeah, this hand's good. I'll keep it.
Well, my hand has a Sram and a 1-drop, so you don't mulligan those. Let's battle.
And Death of Triumph. Good.
Stone Coil Serpent. Go ahead.
Whatever, bro. I ain't scared. I'll play Paradise Druid. Good.
Well, I'm not going to attack into the Paradise Druid. I think that would go pretty poorly for me. I think what I want to do here is cast a Sram. It's your turn.
Alright, I'm going to take 2.
Don't do it.
And cast a Nahiri. And then we're going to crank Nahiri up. I'm just going to discard this Uro. Good.
Alright, we've been given a turn. We have been given a turn. I'm going to start by playing Ethereal Armor on my Stone Coil Serpent.
Yep.
Trigger Sram, draw a card.
Yep.
Then, I'm going to play a Plains and put an Ethereal Armor on my Stone Coil Serpent. Trigger Sram, draw a card.
Yep.
Then, I'm going to play a Griff's Boon on my Stone Coil Serpent. Trigger Sram, draw a card.
Yep.
So, 1, 4, 7, 8. You can attack for 8 here, 10 here. The question is, should I kill Nahiri? And here he can't answer my Stonecoil Serpent, but if I attack with Sram, it could exile Sram, which I don't like. I don't like happening. I do think if I get one more turn, I will kill you. But I think it's overwhelmingly likely that you have a way, like a Bring to Light, that will be able to kill my Stonecoil Serpent. I think given the context of my hand, it's going to be smarter for me to kill Nahiri and 2 you.
Okay. So I go 16.
Go ahead.
So it was pretty sick turn by Zach. It's interesting. Alright, I'm just gonna make this somewhat conservative play here and just cast Extinction Event.
Okay.
And I'll name even.
Even?
Yep.
Oh, they're both even.
Yep.
Oh no!
So I do lose my Paradise Druid, but I think it's important to clear his 2 guys there. And I'll play land, pass.
Alright, so let's get this party started again. I'm going to play a Hateful Eidolon, a Stonecoil Serpent for 1. And another Stonecoil Serpent for 1. Here you go.
Jesus, the triple Stonecoil Serpent draw against my 5-color deck, huh?
Well, I was hoping I would draw lands, but I didn't. But here we are. We're good. We okay.
Alright, I'm going to go to 14 and then cast a Tulsimir. Friend to Wolves.
Can you kill my Hateful Eidolon?
I'm going to kill your Hateful Eidolon. We'll use this to represent the
Is
Tulsimir.
Voya...
He is green and white,
He's green and
unfortunately.
white. Oh, that's a shame.
That is a shame.
Good.
So I gained 3 life, 17. Yep, good.
We'll start with the SRAM. That's not a
Sentinel's.
SRAM.
Yep.
We'll play SRAM.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Sentinel's Eyes. Eyes. Draw a card off SRAM.
So what does that do again?
My creature gets +1/+1 in Vigilance.
Nice.
I will attack you for 3.
Alright, I take 3. I'm at 14.
Go ahead. Eyes. Sentinel's Eyes.
As long as you think it's funny, Zach. That's
I'm enjoying
important.
it. I think no one else is, but it's funny to me. Wait, did these fight or did this just deal damage?
They fight.
They fight?
Yeah.
My guy has lifelink. I should be at 21.
Nice.
Just making sure. Could matter. I'm at 21 here. Yo, get this out of here.
Dude, stop flicking my cards, bro. Alright, Zach's really making this difficult for me. I'll play Nahiri. I'll have a good target for the minus here, so I'm gonna plus.
Eyes.
And I think on the off chance that I hit a card that I'm thinking of here, I'm actually gonna discard this cycle land. Draw. Okay, we didn't hit what we're thinking of. I'm gonna play this land. And pass.
Alright.
There's not really a reason to attack here, because if I attack with both... If I attack with just one, it just gets blocked immediately. If I attack with both, then Sram gets to come through, so like... Yeah.
Yeah, probably reasonable no attack there, honestly.
Yep.
Alright, I'm gonna start the turn off by playing an all that glitters on my Vigilance Stonecoil.
Yep.
Trigger Sram, draw a card.
Okay.
Play Caves of Koilos. Finally hit that land. Play my Hateful Eidolon.
Okay.
And then go to combat. And I'm going to attack you for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
No blocks.
Yep.
I go to 6.
Go ahead.
Alright, so we're going to crank up Snehiri to 8. We're going to discard Overgrown Tomb. Alright, we'll play this Plains. I'm gonna cycle Triome.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm at 6. So I can get back this Uro. And then if that gets literally anything I lose.
I have a Grispoon in the graveyard.
Spoon. And I can't draw land plus push, so I'm dead at June visit. A little late.
I had the blessing anyway. Still had all D's, my friend.
Yeah, triple Stonecoil plus double Sram is pretty nice. Pretty nice.
I also had 2 Hateful Eidolons.
That I'm less concerned with.
I know, that's fair. Alright, we're back post-board for some sideboarding. I think my sideboarding is very easy here. I don't really love any of my sideboard cards. I could see an argument for bringing in my Ephemia, but I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's beating what you're doing, which is casting sweepers. It's a good follow-up to a sweeper, but I think the better plan here is to just Thoughtseize the sweeper, which is why I'm bringing in 3 Thoughtseizes. It's kind of the best out this deck has to sweepers, and that's why they're in the sideboard, honestly, is Thoughtseize a Supreme Verdict, Thoughtseize a Thing. It's kind of like more Karametra's Blessing, but a little more versatile.
Sure.
And then I'm cutting 2 of my All the Glitters, 2 of the 3. All the Glitters is just the most investment for the least payoff in the deck. All the other auras cost 1, or are resilient like Helm of the Gods, which is kind of like a 2-mana investment. But All the Glitters it's very powerful, but it costs 2 and isn't resilient, so not good in a matchup where I expect a ton of sweepers. Then I'm cutting 1 Griff's Boon instead of the 3rd All the Glitters, because I do still want to make sure I have enough like Ethereal Armor, All the Glitters effects that I have a clock. I just don't want to be overloaded on All the Glitters. So if I draw 1 copy of All the Glitters, it's fine, but drawing 2 would be a disaster. In the 1 Griff's Boon, I don't really have to fly over that many things. If you're blocking with like a Caryatid, I'm usually fine with that because it's hurting you on mana, and I probably am gaining a bunch of life, whatever. I'm usually fine with that. I still have 2 copies of Griff's Boon, but it's kind of the worst enchantment in the deck. It is resilient, but 4 mana is a lot to bring back, so I think it's a fine one to cut.
Makes sense to me. Yeah, so over on this side, boarding out a Paradise Druid, mostly because I need to make room for some of these cards, and I'm bringing in 3 more sweepers. So, as we saw in Game 1, the Paradise Druid died with my Extinction event, and that's just going to happen more so when I have more sweepers, so I just want to have myself be a little bit less soft to that. Boarding out 2 Radas. Rada's a good card, but it's not really what this matchup wants. It's kind of play the longer game kind of thing, pressure my opponent, and that doesn't really matter in this matchup at all. Othakaya, for 3 mana, you don't really want to be casting a rule spell that kills like a 1 or 2 drop, and is kind of gets turned off after a while because his X enchantments just make these guys so tall that it's kind of hard to deal with a creature with only 3 damage. And then I'm trimming on 1 Uro. Uro doesn't seem like the greatest in this matchup. Zach has like Stonecoil Serpent, and like I said, he's going tall and just trying to kill me. And this is kind of something that we try to play for a longer game, and we still have 3 copies left in the deck, so we have access to it, but I don't really want to have all 4 copies. And then, like I said, we're bringing in 3 sweepers, just kind of what you want to be doing in this matchup. Clarion, like I said, damage isn't always the best way to go about it, but I can also give my guys lifelink, which is, can just like swing a race, right? If I just give my Niv-Mizzet and Uro lifelink, it's just really good. And then just kind of pick off some of the smaller stuff.
Sure.
Questing Beast is probably the weirdest card you're seeing me bring in. But really, it's just because it's a monocolored creature that can trade with Stonecoil regardless of how big it gets.
Yep.
As we saw in Game 1, Stonecoil is like all that really mattered there. Zach just went really tall with Stonecoil, and I had a limited interaction. So, trying to make myself a little bit less susceptible to that. Same thing with Scarab God. Scarab God himself is multicolored, but the zombies he makes are black. So it's a nice way to end the game, but also have myself covered against Stonecoil Serpent. So, yep. Alright, so back for Game 2. I'm on the play. This is kind of nuts, but I think I'm gonna... This is so dangerous, but I really like what this hand's doing. I'm gonna keep it. This is wild hand, but I'll try it.
Alright. I think there's an argument to mulligan because this hand's marginal and it doesn't contain a Stone Coil Serpent. So I think there's a real argument to keep it, but I think this combination is good enough. I think there's an argument to mulligan, but I think this combination is good enough that I'm going to keep and kind of hope I draw well.
Alright. Passage, good.
That wasn't a very good first draw step. Conceal the Courtyard, L Seed of Life's Bounty, here we go.
I will get a forest.
In fact, not only was it not a good draw step, it was among the worst draw steps in my deck.
Alright, Zach, I need you to cut this one. I really need it. It needs to be a good one. Alright, I will play Oath Nissa.
Yep.
Trigger. 2, 3. Take a swamp.
Oh no.
I'll play swamp for turn. Good.
Oh no. Oh no. I'm scared. 1.
19.
Roger played the swamp. I feel like there's a push coming. But this isn't going to get better for me, so we're just going to jam. Sram.
Alright.
Good.
Interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and play a carrots and pass.
Okay. This is interesting. I'm kind of alive here. Alright. Wait, I did 1 to you last turn, right? So I should be at 21?
Yep.
I'm going to shock down to 19.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast the Sentinel's Eyes on Sram. Trigger Sram, draw a card.
Yep.
I'm going to play an Ethereal Armor on Sram. Trigger Sram, draw a card. Go to combat.
Yep.
Attack you for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess I should attack with this one too. So 7.
Yep, I'll block the... Hold on.
Okay. Take 6.
Yep, I'm at 13.
Back to 20. It's your go.
Alright, let's draw... You have 5 cards still?
5 cards.
Man, your deck never runs out of gas.
Not when I have Sram. When you don't have Sram, this deck runs out of gas. Believe me. But that is the payoff of playing this deck, is that you have Sram and he's absurd in the deck.
Yeah, that checks out. Alright, I will play a Solar Blaze.
So, I can actually save Sram with All Seed by giving Sram protection from white. That's not a spectacular play here. It knocks all the auras off, and losing my Ethereal Armor really stinks. Let's see, you're at 13 though. think that's the play I need to make, though. I'm going to give Sram Pro White.
Okay. And then I'm gonna go to 11 and play a second Oath of Missile.
Sure.
Trigger. I think it's fair.
Okay.
Good.
I'm going to start the turn by escaping Sentinel's Eyes onto Sram. Trigger Sram, draw a card.
Yep.
And then I'm going to play a Helm of the Gods. Trigger Sram, draw a card.
You can just tell Zach's having a lot of fun when he plays this deck.
Dude, I love this deck.
You can just feel the energy.
It's so much fun.
It's radiating off of him.
It's wild. Love it. And then I'm going to play an All Seed of Life's Bounty.
Okay.
And play a Caves of Koilos.
Okay.
And then attack you for 3.
Alright.
Go ahead.
8.
So I played the All Seed because I know about Teferi, so I just kind of need to start playing around the card. It's really difficult for me to play through it, and All Seed's the best I got.
Yep, makes sense, makes sense, makes sense. Man, it's tricky stuff. Tricky stuff. Yeah, I'll play Teferi.
Okay.
I'm gonna -3 targeting gear. Yeah, I guess I just better target Sram.
I'll give it Pro Blue.
Yep. And then I'll pass you.
I'm going to start the turn off by casting a Cartouche of Solidarity, targeting Sram. Trigger Sram, draw a card.
Sure.
To resolve?
Yeah.
Okay. When it resolves, I get a 1/1 with Vigilance. Now my guy has first strike. Alright, I'm going to play an Ethereal Armor on the Warrior, trigger Sram, draw a card.
Okay.
I'm going to shock to 18.
Okay.
Casting all the glitters targeting Sram, trigger Sram, draw a card. I'm going to take 1, go to 17. Play a Hateful Eidolon.
Sure.
Go to combat. attack you for a lot.
Yeah, I guess I'll block a lot.
Okay. Go ahead. Sorry, this is not equipped.
I'll plus the fairy and pass.
That seems ominous. Fair enough. Alright. Draw for turn.
Yep.
Alright. I'm gonna play a Griff Spoon on Hateful Eidolon. Sure, same draw card.
Yep.
So, Sram is just lethal. You kind of have to block. You're at 8, right?
Yep.
You can't bring the light here. So, also, you're not close to Supreme Verdicting. You could Extinction Event. That would be awful.
Yeah, I'm really far from verdict. Really, really far.
Yep. You can't even Solar Blaze. Alright.
I only have one soul blaze. I already cast it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know that, but that's fine. I'm gonna put a Helm of the Gods on the Hateful Eidolon.
Sure.
Go to combat.
Yep.
This at Teferi, these two at you.
Yep, I will cast Extinction Event. Name even.
Name even?
Yep. We let Zach draw a few more cards there, because I need to make sure that, basically I didn't want Zach to know that he needs to go on the Eidolon completely on that turn. Because if I just cast this during my turn, it just gives you kind of like a green light to just try to make sure to maximize damage.
Yeah, I would just kill you there.
Yeah. So instead
so
I'm going
you
to take 3.
No, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4. It's +1/+1 for each enchantment, and these are both enchantments.
Oh, okay, it's not ours. Okay. So that's 4. I got 4, and you gain 4. Right? You gain 4.
Yeah, okay. I'm at 21. The Extinction Event is brutal there. Gets around the Hateful Eidolon, too.
Yeah. My hand had all these cards, that's why I kept it, but it was a 1-lander with Oath of Nissa and
Sure.
Carroted. And we drew like 2 more basics, which is kind of insane, because it only plays 5. And it's an 80 card deck.
That's fair.
But,
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and put Luris in my hand.
sure.
And then play a tap Galistron. Here we go.
Alright. We'll plus this to fairy. Play it to fairy from our hand. Bounce. Draw. Oh, my deck loves me so much. Oh! Oh, can I take that back?
Sure.
Alright.
What are you doing?
It has nothing to do with what I drew. I'm just dumb. So this is at 3 when I plussed it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I forgot that I can just play this in Nahiri. Because I have the Oath of Nissa. This was tapped, so I can just exile this.
It's just any enchantment. You could always exile.
Oh, it's an enchantment too, that's right. I keep forgetting that creature's an enchantment. Oh yeah, so I'm gonna do that instead. That's like a much better play for me. And then I'll pass. So this way we have like 2 Teferi bounces next turn if we want it, which is nice.
I'm gonna play Luris.
Yep.
I'm just gonna play an All Seed.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast an all seed. Pass.
Okay.
I think I've got you in the stone cold lock now.
Yeah.
2 all seeds. How can I lose? Life's bountiful, Raja. It's here for me today.
Is that what the flavor text is?
I don't know. It says Dawn kissed the. He nourishes the golden grain. So if I'm the golden grain, I'm being nourished by the dawn kissed.
That makes sense to me. That's it's clear as day.
There's a lot of blessings here. Helm of the Gods, its blessings are as numerous as the stars of Nyx. I'm the
Yeah.
golden grain and I'm being blessed plentifully, apparently.
Yep.
You gonna exile an all seed for me?
Definitely considering it. This is a weird turn, man. It's really weird. So you can give this protection, right?
I could, yes.
This protection. Alright, so how do we not die? Sorry, I know this doesn't make for the best viewer experience, but this is a really tough decision for me.
I'm totally just gonna fast forward through all this, you're good.
Alright, perfect.
I'm gonna put the music behind it.
It's party music.
I'm not gonna do music, but I will be fast forwarding.
Perfect. Yeah, Luris is...
A really powerful card?
yeah.
Yeah, there's a reason they changed how companions work because of how messed up this card was.
Yeah. And you have 3 cards?
3 cards.
Do I just need to like redraw and hope to hit something good? Alright, I'm gonna... yeah, I'm gonna go for this plan. I'm gonna discard this and draw a card.
Do you want another red-green land?
Nope.
It's kind of wild I'm struggling through to Teferi here with you having just only Jund lands in play.
Yeah. I think we just lose if we don't hit now, because if I go... yeah. I'm gonna bounce that.
Wait. No, only enchantments, okay.
Actually, I probably should just bounce my Oath in this at this point, because that mana's trivial for you. It's 2 total. Yeah, I'm gonna bounce my Oath in this. Sorry. We need a good one here. Does that do anything? Maybe. Oath in this.
Resolves.
I'm sure it does. And we left.
Darn.
It's all coming up nice. Carries it.
Carted!
Good.
Draw.
Yep.
Lane for turn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start the turn by casting Sentinel's Eyes, targeting Luris. I'm going to exile all that glitters in Cartouche of Solidarity.
Sure.
Then, main phase Karametro's Blessing. Oh, you don't have a Teferi in play anymore.
Nope.
Oh, well, I'm going to cast a Karametro's Blessing, targeting Luris.
Sure.
Okay, so it's hexproof and indestructible.
Yep.
I'm going to give Luris Pro-Green by sacking this.
Okay.
Equip Luris.
Yep.
Take you.
Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was trying to hit a blue source to cast Spring to Light and get Verdict, because it actually gets around
Ah,
everything.
I had 2 Karamesh's Blessings in my hand that
Would not work.
wouldn't, because we have Teferi in play.
Yeah. Well, even after Teferi is gone, it has to be enchanted. None of you guys was enchanted.
I would 100% dead to Verdict there too. I had no option.
I know. That's what. Like you couldn't. Your Karamesh's Blessing, even with Teferi gone, because I had to bounce Teferi to draw a card, try to hit. It wouldn't work because none of you guys were enchanted, right? Is that how the card works? Oh no, it says or enchantment creature.
I can't do it because there's Teferi in play.
I know, but I was trying to get redraws off my Teferi, so if I so I bounced that.
Then I would be able to save my guys.
You'd be able to save.
Once you bounce Teferi, I'd just be able to save Luris.
He wasn't equipped with anything.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I would be able to save an All Seed.
So you'd have to kill me with that next turn, which you might have been able to do at 4.
Well, I had 2 Karamesh's Blessings, but I would have used 1. No, the way my hand was.
Oh no, that just kills me. Yeah, then you untap Karamesh's Blessing, you put this on there, and that's lethal. So yeah,
Well, I need the Sentinel's Eyes too. But yeah, once I play the Sentinel's Eyes, it was
this is lethal.
No, because I would just have this in play.
Yeah, so you put another +2/+2 on it.
So it's 3. This is 4.
4. That's it. I was at 4.
Oh, you're at 4. I'm thinking 8. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So once the Teferi's gone, yeah, you knew the Teferi's locking out Karamesh's Blessing.
Yeah.
All right, let's play game 3.
Oh sure. All right. A pity game 3.
Pity game 3. I mean, to be fair, every deck that we pitch against SRAM anyway would need a pity game 3.
Right.
The deck
It just has no
strong.
chance.
Yeah, it just has no bad matchup. It's just busted against everything. So.
Yeah. All right. Back for game 3. Pity game 3. I'm gonna take the play again because I need it.
A pity game. You deserve more than that.
This hand is playable, so I'll keep.
I think my hand is more than playable. I think it's spectacular. So let's go.
All right. Good.
Go ahead. Stone Coil for 1.
Try him. Good.
So the only thing that like really punishes me here is push, specifically. I think that's fine. I'm gonna shock, I'll go to 18. Hateful Eidolon.
Okay.
Ethereal Armor.
Okay.
Commit. Take for 3.
Zach never plays around the push. I guess sometimes you just have to play into it.
Just not respecting it.
I never had it, but you know.
Yeah, that's fair. Go. You only have 2 and it's an 80 card deck. Like, am I supposed to play around it?
I mean, yeah, I guess, but like.
I'm not respecting it, Raja.
2 and 80 card deck over 3 games. I think eventually I should have it, right?
No, you'll never have it.
That's true.
I'm just not winning if you do, so whatever. I'm not slow playing. Slow playing's even worse. You need to use sweepers.
Yeah, that's fair. Carried it. Good.
Land for turn?
Yep.
Awesome. So I know you don't have push, or I think you would have pushed the last turn. I'm pretty sure you would have. I think it's overwhelmingly likely you have a sweeper. You're at 17.
17.
You can block 3 toughness, and I can attack. So it's +4/+4, 8, 10. Alright. I'm gonna go to 17. Both of these. Sentinel's Eyes and a second Ethereal Armor.
Jesus. Okay. How much is that?
Attack. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these are both 5, so that's 10, 12, 13, 14.
Wait, what?
10, 11, 12, 13.
Yeah, but this is obviously blocking here, or at least, yeah. So, yep, I will block here.
Okay.
So I take 12.
Yep, I'm at 18.
All right.
Good.
Got a few draw steps here. It ain't one of them. Yeah, no, I'm just that, dude. The card's ridiculous. I never have the punishment for it either. I guess. Oh, so I guess I'm still not dead yet. Cause I can hit. Yeah, I guess we should see what we get off that. Alright, it's fairy.
Gonna bounce my stone coil.
Actually, I'm gonna play this mountain and play its fairy.
Alright.
I'd love to bounce for stone coil as an option. Can I do that?
It'd be really good if you could.
Bounce that, I think.
Push. Are you back? We hit!
I guess I'm not dead yet, though. Cause I just blocked your...
My trample.
Oh, I was supposed to kill the other one. Or it doesn't matter, you still get to play it.
It has trample.
Yeah. No, nothing I do matters. I do Dreadbore. Is that good?
It doesn't kill stone coil.
Does my multicolored draw do anything? Oh man, that's frustrating.
This is why I put stone coil in the deck. But like one.
Oh, come on, man. This is the card I was looking for.
Oh, the bring to light.
Yeah.
Be able to bring to light for a push. Right, verdict, but yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
Soloways, verdicts, extinction events, fine. All those
I'm just
not
gonna
good.
draw Sram, dude. I couldn't lose.
Does no, Hour doesn't do it. Whew. Alright, well, Zach's Sram deck's obviously unbeatable. That's just what I learned there.
Best matchup.
Yep.
Against all things. Sram, too good. So, alright. Post matchup analysis, though, let's talk about this. Obviously, I have the stone coil and it's busted here. I'm playing it partly because it is so good here.
Yeah.
But also, like, just all the keywords it has in my enchantment deck just makes sense. It powers up all the glitters. It's slightly worse than an enchantment creature, but the next enchantment 1-drop just is not good enough to even play, so it's the best we get. How do you feel about the matchup? Do you think that, like, maybe you should be accounting more for this by playing pushes? What are your thoughts here?
I am playing pushes.
Like, more pushes?
I mean, yeah, there's a possibility I could be playing more than 2. You need to have hits for Niv Mizzet.
Sure.
So, like, you can't just, like, have all your removal spells be
Sure. I mean, do you think
monocolors, right? So
do you think you should have, like, 2 more pushes in your board or something?
maybe. That's definitely a possibility. If this was a real deck, I mean, obviously, like, the deck, I think it's a fine deck, but it's not popular.
Yeah.
So, like, if I was trying to metagame for the format, I don't think I would do it because of that reason.
Mm-hmm.
But if this deck became popular, then absolutely, yeah, Fatal Push seems... I mean, any deck that has Stone Cold Serpent, you need to have Fatal Push or Sweepers, right? And,
Sure.
like, Sweepers didn't feel good enough against you, because when I'd have a... So, like, if you had, like, a Stram draw, you would just refuel with enchantments to where I was, like, still just 1 for 2ing you at best.
Sure.
And then if you had a punish, like a Carry Measures Blessing, depending on the sweeper, if you had the Blessing or the Alcid, as we saw that one game, it survived through Solar Blaze, right?
Sure.
The SRAM did.
Yep.
So, like, it was weird because, like, spot removal feels kind of weird because you just have all these ways to protect your guys, but then sweepers, you're just, like, drawing cards back, or you still have ways to protect your guys. It just didn't feel like a very good matchup. I felt like I was on my back foot the entire time. So,
That's
like,
fair. I will say this was one of the deck's worst matchups before Stone Coil. After Stone Coil, I think the matchup's close because I get some amount of just free wins from having it.
yeah, that was definitely a free win right there. Like, any other creature there does not matter, right?
Yep.
So.
And I will also say, too, that SRAM has a fail rate. There's some amount of games where
I didn't see any fail right there.
Well, you didn't see it, but that's what I'm saying. Like, the deck has games where you just don't find it. You only have 16 creatures in your deck, and you have some amount of games where you just don't see a creature in your 7 or your 6, and you're on 5 and struggling. And that never happened, so I got lucky with that. Also, you had mana issues in game 2, so not only do I think the matchup's close, but I drew my free win card twice and had better draws than you.
You drew your free win card 4 times.
Well, I guess I had 3 copies game 1. Yeah,
because I had the first one beat.
I never had a game 2 though, and I still won the game.
No, I understand. I'm saying
but that was the game you had awkward mana, so maybe it lined up right there. I will say another thing that was very relevant there is that you only ever had Teferi in the game where you had awkward mana and couldn't cast the rest of your spells. The other 2 games you never had a Teferi, and Teferi I think is the best card in your deck against me.
Yeah.
So I think that matters a lot. Like, you never had the Teferi into sweeper draw that I'm just terrified of.
Sure.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And, like, even game 2, if you had just killed SRAM the turn I played it, I would have lost that game horribly. Because my draw just didn't do anything outside of SRAM. I needed SRAM, and SRAM drew me 10 cards.
Yeah, like, even there, like, I never had the punish for, like, I never had the push, obviously. But even, like, having Dreadbore, Abrupt Decay, Justice Strike never happened when you, like, had your SRAM early.
Sure.
Right? It was just, like...
I will say, though, that...
My deck has consistent problems, so, like, I'm not... it's not just like variance; it's inherent to the deck's build.
Yep.
But there's things that could have, like small things that could have just gone my way that would have probably just caused like a domino effect.
Sure.
So
Totally agree. I will say though that I think just after watching this, I want more like cheap spells in your sideboard. Like
Yeah,
you're
I
burning
think so, too.
sweepers, but I think it's just wrong not to have the other two pushes. Just because like you play against burn or you play against all these decks and it's like, okay, I know I want multicolor cards, but I'm already playing 2 pushes. What's 2 more? You know.
I agree. I think that the problem is that like I think the premier aggro deck right now is either red or black, and mono black
guess,
definitely don't
yeah.
want more fatal pushes.
That's fair. It is bad against mono black. So maybe this is just doing the right thing where it's dodging the removal you want to be playing in the format.
Maybe. Yeah.
Could be a reason to just be playing Sram.
Yeah, like I have like is a static caster, which is like good against mono black and
Sure.
mono red. It's another way to like deal with things early.
Totally. Yeah.
And I have blockers, but like I didn't want that against you. Your guys got way too big, and you only had a couple of creatures that were exposed to it without enchantments. So
Sure.
like, yeah, like your deck has a niche for sure. I mean, like, I don't know, maybe it's broken.
Maybe it is. All right. Thanks everyone for joining us. I hope you appreciated the post game analysis there. I think that's something we're gonna be doing moving forward. And yeah, if you like the content we're creating, remember to subscribe to the channel. Every subscription helps us grow.
Big time.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, all you have to do is click subscribe. So we really appreciate it when you do. And if you like this video, please leave a thumbs up. It helps us again. And if you want to comment on the videos, if you want to suggest a deck for us to play, anything like that, feel free to. We're happy to reply to comments, happy to answer questions, and happy to take suggestions for decks.
Absolutely.
See you guys next time.
Bye.
I'm joined by Kyle Balgamez. Welcome, Kyle.
How are ya?
Raja Suleiman with Orzhov.
Max McVitie.
Congratulations, Brian to Mars.
Zach Allen.
I wouldn't be here without these guys, though. So.
And the champion of Pro Tour counter-attack here, Ari Lax.